It's time for the Douglas Coleman Show. Mr. Smooth and Savvy is joined by guests from all walks of life, from the entertainment industry to authors to political and social commentators, the famous and not so famous, the controversial and the light and fluffy. We have it all. Now, here's Douglas Coleman.
Well, hello there. Howdy ho. Welcome to the Douglas Coleman Show. It's me, of course, Douglas Coleman. How are you? Thank you for joining us. We've got Winchester of Winchester 7 and the Runners here today. And Winchester 7 and the Runners have been part of our complete radio promotional package for the last few weeks. And we thank you to them for signing up. So this is the interview portion of the package, and he'll tell us about his track and about some projects that they're working on and about the band in general. And then, of course, we've got his track to play, the St. Simon Killer. So we'll play that as the lead-in to the interview. And then we've also got a couple of MusicSubmit.com submissions to play. Thank you very much to everybody who has been submitting on Music Submit. We're getting lots of great music, and we're always happy to play it. The first track is called Or Nothing at All by Jeff Hartman, followed by Far Away by the Incurables. And if you are a music artist and would like to get some extra promotion, we have a couple of packages that you might be interested in. We've got a radio promotional package and also a new video promotional package, which will promote your music video on our new Video Edition show. We're getting great response for that, which I'm very happy for. We've got several people who have signed up already, and space is a little bit limited on that, so check out both packages at douglascolemanshow.com and just click on either the radio promotional or the video promotional link, and there you will find all the details. So with that, here is Winchester 7 and the Runners and the St. Simon Killer.
Simon
Okay, please welcome to the Douglas Coleman Show from the band Winchester 7 and the Runners. Here's Winchester. Hi, Winchester. How are you?
Hey, Douglas. Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. Also, thank you for signing up for our complete radio promotional package. We do appreciate that, and we're very happy to play your track. It's a nice track. Kind of reminds me of Duran Duran for some reason. I don't know why, but it has that feel about it. What do you think?
It's not bad company to have. I can tell you that when we were producing it, had the idea that we wanted to capture a little bit of a new wave tone to it, so I can imagine how some of that might come through.
Yeah, I don't know why. It something about it echoed of Her Name is Rio. Remember that song?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Excellent one.
Somewhere in there, I mean, obviously not a copy, but just the tone of it, something came through there. Yeah.
Glad to make you think of anything good.
Well, yeah, that was a good song. I like that song. Certainly was a big hit for them.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you calling from?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay. How are you guys doing with the virus thing down there?
Hanging in there. Do so much work from the studio that don't really get out much to be able to be impacted by it. Besides that, though, I do miss seeing the movies occasionally.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, again, most of my work is inside in the studio, so it hasn't really bothered me that much to, have to stay inside. I stay inside anyways. So it's...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bird of a feather.
Yeah, but I feel bad for people that can't go to work, like their office or their company has shut down, and then...
Oh, absolutely.
Next month the school is supposed to start, and people who have children are probably wondering, A, if the school's going to open at all, and B, if it does open, do you want to send your kids?
Mm-hmm. We're facing the same decision now, absolutely. And I think all the economic toll and, the human cost from some of the things, just connection that we've all been missing, have a profound impact. And just hope for it all to get better.
It doesn't look like it's getting better in the States. That's the weird part of it. It seems like Europe and other places, the virus is kind of going away. But here it looks like it's just starting.
Well, it very well could be. I think some of it is, whatever flavor of news you're picking and where it's being reported. We only hear so much about overseas news, so I can see how some of that could be a bit sanitized, and it might feel different when you're there. It's hard to say. I think, it's a global kind of impact that, we're all feeling and likely will for some time, but I'm just still try to remain optimistic and hopeful.
Yeah, well, it's about the best we can do. So tell us about your band.
Sure. So we got together with the idea that we wanted to create some original music that helped to echo back to some of the influences that we have that were admittedly diverse, but bring in influences that are some termed classic rock or some of the early alternative and new wave kind of elements. And as we put that together, we found ourselves working within more of a current genre of an indie rock. One of the things that are distinct, I think, about our approach is that I don't know how to play the guitar. So I play a ukulele and just distort that sucker for all it's worth. So it adds a new sound that isn't quite ukulele and isn't quite guitar, and it seems to fit us well.
So is this a virtual band or a real band?
It's a little bit of both in that, the other members are around the globe. So, there's times where we have to, for our video production, get some green screen from them to be able to put it in. And we do kind of collaborate with the offline tracks and, working at a distance from time when we can't be in the studio together.
So who is the writer?
Myself. I usually start with the ukulele track as a foundation, work on the music, and then from there work on the lyrics to contribute with the rest of the band, adding the musical elements and some bit of creative guidance.
And then they record their pieces wherever they are, and then you guys put it all together, yeah?
Yeah, and once in a while we can also be in the same studio, and that's always preferable. But it isn't always the case, particularly these days.
No, and right now I don't think anybody is traveling or should be traveling. I certainly wouldn't want to get on an airplane. That would be the last thing I'd want to do.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather walk.
Yeah, it certainly does make the location shoots hard.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other one too, is I get a lot of filmmakers and they're really struggling because they're limited to how many people they can have on their set at one time.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We're in the process of planning out our next video. We're going to try to, feature a little bit of a rocket ship element. So, we're drawing back to those earlier times of, miniatures and models and, layers that, can be done in your backyard because we don't have access to some of those resources.
Yeah. So the track that we've been featuring is called the St. Simon Killer. And who was St. Simon? I don't know the story.
Well, it's a bit interesting. The idea for calling it St. Simon really stems from a area, St. Simon's Island in Georgia, where when I was first writing the lyrics, had read about a murder-ruled suicide that sounded a little fishy and added a little bit of mystery. So we decided to kind of root it with that and then go a creative direction from there. So it wasn't so much about the real-life scenario as bringing in elements of mystery and organized, there's features in the middle eight, a bit of a Illuminati kind of thing element to it, and drew in this little bit of a eerie sort of feeling about the protagonist in the song is being stalked, or might they really be the killer themselves? So it went in another direction, but its inspiration came from the story of this unfortunate ending in St. Simon's Island.
Okay, so it was a true story then, yeah?
The start of it was grounded in one, and then from there we just borrowed the name and took it in another direction. Really was inspired with the idea that after writing the music, kind of felt it had that eerie quality to it and wanted something that we imagined could be played over the end credits of an Alfred Hitchcock movie. So we wanted suspense and a little bit of your imagination being able to take you into what might be scary rather than talking just about the facts of the actual murder that was the root of the title, or in that same way showing you the scary element. The scariest part of the song is the idea that the killer hears your cries as opposed to there actually being any killing. And it's that way it echoes back to Jaws, where you don't really see the shark until the end.
That's true, yeah. Well, okay, that's cool. I kind of like that idea. Sometimes understatement is more powerful than overstatement, yeah?
Agreed. That's what we were kind of going for. There's plenty of songs that have plenty of real life and emotional agendas to them, and we wanted a little bit of an escape from that and something that just told a good ghost story. And for that, we filmed the video in a haunted house. So that made it even more fun to try to do.
Did you see anything interesting? Any poltergeists in the haunted house?
We didn't, but we made it look as scary as we could.
Okay.
One of the most interesting shots from it was an accident. We were in the basement of this haunted house and what had been converted into surgery in the late 1800s. And it included a period wheelchair. And we thought, wouldn't this be a nice shot to show this wheelchair? It'd be nice haunted house kind of stuff, cobblestone floor. But forgot to set the night setting on the camera. So as we started to pan up, we were seeing very little. But everybody else who was on tour, who was taking pictures, their flashes were popping off. So as that was happening, there's that very horror-themed element of the flash showing a little bit of image as the camera moves. And that ended up being the scariest shot in the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes the best shots happen by accident. I know that when I've taken pictures and videos before, it's you didn't mean to do that, but when you looked at it later, it came out really good.
That's right. We're really happy with that happenstance. And, that's a lot of what we do. We try to celebrate those little imperfections.
So I noticed also on your track that it was produced by Stuart Epps. I'm very familiar with him. How did you come in contact with Stuart?
Well, it was a really exciting opportunity to have had. We were really proud to do it. We have an original mix that we had produced of the song with our normal mix engineer, Brendan Woodruff, and we worked with him for years over Upwork, and more recently as we were exploring some of the things out there where we actually connected. That site, I think it's like Music Submit or Music X-Ray maybe, Music X-Ray, and we happened to find him having a package on there too, where he would listen and decide if he wanted to spend time on the track, and we submitted, and he heard something unique in it and wanted to be able to spend some time at it and bring out some elements that aren't in the original mix, and it really ended up such a different take on what we'd originally made that it was refreshing, and we were really honored to have the opportunity.
Yeah, he's great. He's actually produced some of my music as well years ago.
Oh, that's great.
But, we keep in touch on social media and stuff, and I've been promoting his book. He's got a book out telling the story of his working with Elton John way back in the day.
Yeah, I've read a little bit of that.
Yeah.
It's really intriguing. We're a big Beatles fan, so I love to hear stories about Dick James music and some of the stuff that happened around them.
Well, if you get a chance, listen to his interview on my show. I've got a special 2-hour. He's the only one I've done 2 hours with. I don't like talking for that long. But with Stuart, he does the talking, and I can just go, and it's really
that makes sense. He's got quite a story.
And he's good. I mean, it's not boring at all. You're just riveted to what he's talking about. And I'll tell you, that 2 hours that just went right by. So yeah, if you get a chance, have a listen to it. Yeah, it's a really good interview. He talks all about when John Lennon came and was on Elton John's plane, and then the whole concert at Madison Square Garden, and he talks about the whole thing.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. I'll have to spend some time on that. That sounds great. We hope to have the opportunity to work with him on some future tracks perhaps as well. We just released one that was kind of a pandemic response. It was in the morning light, the kind of timeless idea that maybe things will be better tomorrow was where we kind of rooted that. And now we're working on another one where we're bringing in a rocket ship element. It's about the experience of filmmaking with a Super 8 camera.
Oh.
Which I found pleasantly. My parents' camera that I used to steal as a kid and make movies with still works. So now my daughter, the third generation, is going to get to shoot with that camera. And we're really looking forward to this one as it starts to get put together, and hope to have the chance to work with Stuart on it or one of our future tracks as we head towards our next release.
Can you still buy Super 8 film?
You can. I found that there's actually places out there that not only sell it, but they process and digitize it as well. So
oh, wow.
We're going to do all that to just kind of see what the modern aesthetic against the Super 8 background looks like. In some of our earlier footage, our films, we had some 8mm and Super 8 footage incorporated that we dug up from the archives and had that scanned in, and it has a really nice look, but noticeably all the styles and colors are all the sort of things that are period. So now we have this idea that showing the modern stuff that we want to show with it will bring in some of that aesthetic of handmade movie making, and
right.
Some of the colors that come out of a Super 8 might present itself really well.
Well, what I get a kick out of is when you go on some of the software like Adobe Premiere, you can actually add those effects back in, which I always found interesting.
Yes, you can. Absolutely. We've done some of that too, and it does look good, but I still think something about that real honest goodness celluloid is going to translate. So we're looking forward to getting a chance to do that. It'll be fun, and I've already kind of planned the idea that I'm going to try to sample the sound of the camera motor into the track somewhere.
Oh, there you go. That would be very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fun. We like adding those little extra elements.
Well, Winchester, we got to wrap this up. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And again, thank you for signing up for
Thank you for having me.
Promotional package.
Pleasure.
Give everybody your website real quick where they can come check you out.
Sure, that's Winchester7intherunners.com or d7tr.com.
All right, super. Well, thanks again for coming on. It was a pleasure speaking with you. And best of luck with everything you're doing.
Thank you,
on
likewise.
the project.
You're listening to Mr. Smooth and Savvy right here on the Douglas Coleman Show. We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Hi there, this is Stuart Epps, record producer. This is my story about Elton John, working with him in those early years, going back to 1967 at Dick James, all the amazing tours, those first recordings, going through to Rocket Records, and it's an amazing story about his incredible rise to stardom and my part in that. So look forward to taking you on that journey. So here we go. Yeah, and to order this great audio CD, please just email me at stuartepps@talk21.com. That's Stuart, S-T-U-A-R-T, Epps, E-P-P-S, at talk, T-A-L-K, 21 in figures.com. Stuart Epps at talk21.com. Email me and I'll give you all the details for buying this brilliant audio disc. Thank you. Bye.
DJC Music and DJC Productions are pleased to announce a brand new website. We have started a listing website for radio show hosts as well as potential show guests. This is a meeting site where hosts and guests can come together. Show hosts can list their show and types of guests they're interested in booking. Potential guests can list their talents, bio, accomplishments, or anything they feel makes them an interesting radio show guest. There are no recurrent payments, only a one-time $5 listing fee. Your listing will stay up until you decide to cancel. Previous guests of The Douglas Coleman Show are welcome to submit their guest listing free of charge. Go to radiohostsandguests.com. That's radiohostsandguests.com.
Tired of living in a culture of lies, fake news, and alternative facts? The Pro-Truth Pledge reverses the tide of lies by calling on politicians, and everyone else, to commit to truth-oriented behaviors. The pledge asks signees to commit to 12 behaviors that research in behavioral science shows lead to truthfulness, such as clarifying one's opinions and the facts, citing one's sources, and celebrating people who update their beliefs toward the truth. Private citizens who sign the pledge get the benefit of contributing to a more truth-oriented society. Public figures get more substantive rewards for signing the pledge in the form of positive media and public recognition. The pledge crowdsources the truth by asking volunteers to evaluate the statements of public figures who sign the pledge. Take the pledge, demand that your elected representatives do so, and encourage your friends to take it at protruthpledge.org.
Are you an independent musician? How would you like to have your songs played on hundreds of radio stations just like the one you're listening to right now? Join MusicSubmit.com and we'll promote your music to radio stations and blogs in your genre. It's free to set up your account, and we guarantee your music will be considered for airplay by radio stations worldwide. Why not sign up today? It's free. MusicSubmit.com. Radio promotion for indie musicians.
If I could have anything at all, what would I answer to you? You wanna play these guessing games? Is it red, green, yellow, or blue? Here you're searching all over town for that special thing, wondering what I really Some guys must have lots and lots of money. Some need a fancy car, a speedboat. It's kind of funny. On my wish list, I can testify. I want want your sweet, sweet love more than anything or nothing at all. Or nothing at all. Don't really need a diamond watch, not looking for expensive shoes. There's nothing you could ever buy could mean as much as you do. All across this whole wide world, folks are searching desperately. Darling, I have found my hidden treasure. I found you and me. Some guys must have lots and lots of money. Some need a fancy car, a speedboat. It's kind of funny. On my wish list, I can testify. I want your sweet, sweet love more than anything or nothing at all. I want just you.